look, I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm incredibly jealous. I've tackled this mountain 19 times and failed 19 times miserably. How's it feel to win the thing?
Well, it's pretty big week for us, to be honest. I guess coming off a Sandown, we didn't really have the result that we probably wanted. But
you could be a little bit more excited about
it. But it's like one of those weeks where it went so perfectly that it's just like unbelievable. So I think it's still settling in for me. For sure. I'm not sure about you, Hazelnut.
Well, I only got my voice back this morning, so I think that probably paints a picture of how I celebrated and enjoyed the moment. But as BK said, I think we're in disbelief. Like, I was almost in shock when Brodie crossed the line, to be honest. Just couldn't believe what we'd actually achieved, and we were so emotionless in the lead up to the event because we knew we had a good opportunity. But as you know, as a driver, you don't want to get excited because it's Bathurst. Anything can happen and will happen. So when it finally actually happened, it was unbelievable.
But there was one, you did have a little touch of the wall at one point in practice, wasn't it? I thought, Jesus, guys put in a screamer and just got out of the car and packed it in. But what happened there? Just
I literally had so guys,
you weren't happy with how fast you were? You would have been
well, I had with myself, but I literally had that day. So I wasn't feeling
physically.
I was feeling like horrible to the point where I was.
Brodie was on the ultimate weight loss program.
Yeah, I was on the shred.
That's taking it to the next level, isn't it?
Yeah, I was on the shred. So it was it was not good. So I wasn't feeling really good on Friday, and then on the Saturday I was minimal laps, just trying to. On the Friday I was just minimal laps, trying to stay fresh for qualifying, but I was getting a bit of double vision and all that sort of stuff going on, a bit feverish. So I was glad to actually just put it in the shootout, to be honest. So,
jeez, that's huge.
He looked at me Thursday. He's like, you ready to put this thing in the shootout tomorrow? I'm like, what?
You're getting all excited, rubbing your hands together.
Yeah, exactly. But it all worked out all right in the end, so thank God.
So what was different this year's campaign? Because obviously last year you had plenty of speed as well, but it didn't come out in the end. Why do you think it all come together this year? Like what made this year different?
I think going up against, we went up against Triple Eight last year, obviously, and going up against a team like that, with such a high pedigree, they've been dominant for such a long time. You have to have all of your ducks in a row, and you can't make any mistakes because they'll ultimately capitalize on them. So we just made a few mistakes last year. Had a really fast race car last year, but just made a few strategic mistakes, and they capitalized on them. And going to this year, we said we'd be a bit more prepared, got some more manpower on board. So we had Blake Smith on board. And he was fantastic for our campaign, and we didn't put a foot wrong all day, and the car was fast again. So it just made our jobs a lot easier, and just kept us out in clean air.
And having Todd this year as opposed to D. Russ last year, with him coming off all that experience, and then obviously starting the season doing some running, do you think that had a big part to play in it?
Yeah, definitely. Todd's done a fantastic job. Even at Sandown, even at our test day prior to Sandown, just with the car balance and all that sort of stuff. It's it's been great. Been great working with him. He's obviously fresh out of the main game as well. So that was awesome working with Todd. We've gone back a long way. We used to live together, and it was cool to finally partner up. It was awesome.
So working with Brodie, everyone sort of talks about him being an amazing, obviously amazing driver, but also mechanically and engineering wise so cluey and sort of really knows what he wants and how to tune the car and works so closely with Big George. Was that for you? Was that a huge difference coming on from what you'd experienced previously, and then was that a surprise for you, or is it all crap, or does he really know what he's doing?
Sometimes.
We hear these stories about you drawing roll bars and all sorts of stuff.
No, it's legit. And I saw what Brodie was like back when we used to live together back in 2017 and 18. And I used to spend more hours on CAD, drawing up pedal boxes and making all sorts of weird stuff for his Super 2 car back in the day. And I knew there and then, I'm like, man, if this guy ever gets to the main game and actually gets his together, he's going to be hard to beat one day.
Still working that out.
And
we all are, mate.
Here we are. We won Bathurst. So, as you mentioned, like watching BK and George work together, they get on together like a house on fire. They both complement each other so well. So, I'm sure, as you know, JC, when you get that engineer that can understand your language and they know how to bounce off you straight away, there's no ifs or buts or maybe. They they make a decision, they just run with it. There's no questioning itself. And I think, it's quite comical watching Brodie. He's always pushing Big George to try and do something or make something happen. And there's always a little bit of pushback there from George. But I can't fault Brodie, because every time we made a change based off his feedback, the car was instantly better every time. So, yeah, when you get into that scenario, it's pretty cool.
Hit you up with some text messages over there.
I did get a few for review drivers.
Yeah. Big Jack goes hard on the Brodie text.
Yeah.